Smart people first learn to see toxic behavior clearly. They know that toxic people often make others feel bad about themselves. These people might always complain, blame others, or try to control everything around them. Toxic people sometimes act mean or rude. They might say hurtful things or make fun of others. Some toxic people always want attention. They create drama wherever they go. Others might lie often or break promises without caring. Smart people watch for warning signs. They notice when someone always makes them feel tired or upset after talking. They see when a person never says sorry or always thinks they are right. These are red flags that show toxic behavior. The most important thing smart people understand is this: toxic behavior is not about them. When someone acts toxic, it comes from their own problems and pain. Smart people do not take it personally. They know the toxic person has issues they need to work on. Smart people also know they cannot fix toxic people. They cannot make them change or become better. Only the toxic person can choose to change themselves. This understanding helps smart people make better choices about how to respond. When smart people see toxic behavior, they stay calm. They do not get angry or upset right away. Instead, they think about what they should do next. This clear thinking helps them protect themselves and handle the situation better. Smart people always set clear boundaries with toxic people. A boundary is like a fence around your feelings and time. It protects you from harm. Smart people decide what behavior they will accept and what they will not allow. Setting boundaries means saying no when needed. If a toxic person asks for too much time or money, smart people refuse. They do not feel guilty about protecting themselves. They know that saying no is healthy and necessary. Smart people tell toxic people exactly what they expect. They might say, "Please do not yell at me," or "I will not listen to gossip." They make their rules very clear. This way, the toxic person knows what is acceptable. When toxic people cross boundaries, smart people take action right away. They might walk away from a conversation or end a phone call. They do not wait or hope the behavior will stop. They protect themselves immediately. Smart people stay consistent with their boundaries. They do not change their rules based on their mood or the situation. If they say something is not okay, it is never okay. This consistency helps toxic people understand they are serious. Sometimes toxic people get angry when boundaries are set. They might argue or try to make smart people feel bad. But smart people do not give in. They know boundaries are important for their mental health and happiness. Smart people also respect their own boundaries. They do not make exceptions for family or old friends. Everyone must treat them with respect. Smart people learn to keep their emotions separate from toxic people's behavior. This means they do not let toxic people control how they feel. They stay calm and peaceful inside, no matter what happens around them. Emotional detachment does not mean being cold or mean. It means not taking toxic behavior personally. When someone says something hurtful, Smart people remind themselves that it is about the other person's problems, not about them. Smart people practice staying neutral during difficult conversations. They keep their voice calm and their face relaxed. They do not show anger, sadness, or fear. This prevents toxic people from getting the reaction they want. One trick smart people use is imagining a protective bubble around themselves. This bubble keeps negative energy from reaching their heart. They can see and hear what happens, but it does not hurt them emotionally. Smart people also avoid arguing with toxic people. They know that arguments give toxic people power and attention. Instead, they might say, "I understand you feel that way," and change the subject or walk away. When toxic people try to make them feel guilty, smart people remember their worth. They know they are good people who deserve respect. They do not let anyone convince them otherwise. Smart people practice this skill every day. They might meditate, take deep breaths, or remind themselves of positive things. This helps them stay strong when dealing with difficult people. The more they practice, the easier it becomes. Smart people carefully control how much they talk to toxic people. They keep conversations short and focused. They do not share personal information or feelings with toxic people because it can be used against them later. When smart people must talk to toxic people, they stick to facts only. They might discuss work tasks or necessary information. They avoid talking about their dreams, fears, or personal life. This protects them from manipulation and judgment. Smart people use what experts call the gray rock method. They become boring and uninteresting during conversations. They give short answers like yes, no, or okay. This makes toxic people lose interest and move on to other targets. Phone calls and messages are kept very brief. Smart people do not answer every call or text right away. They take time to think before responding. Sometimes they do not respond at all if it is not important. Smart people choose the right time and place for necessary conversations. They prefer public places or times when they can leave easily. They avoid being alone with toxic people for long periods. Email and text messages work better than phone calls for smart people. Written communication creates a record of what was said. It also gives them time to think about their response and stay calm. When possible, smart people include other people in conversations with toxic individuals. Having witnesses helps prevent lies or manipulation later. It also makes the toxic person behave better because others are watching. Smart people understand that toxic behavior says nothing about them as a person. When someone is rude, mean, or hurtful, smart people remember that this comes from the toxic person's own pain and problems. Taking things personally means thinking that someone's bad behavior is your fault. Smart people know this is not true. They understand that happy, healthy people do not try to hurt others. Only people with serious problems act toxic toward others. When toxic people criticize or insult them, smart people consider the source. They ask themselves if this person's opinion really matters. Most of the time, the answer is no. They value opinions from people who love and support them instead. Smart people have a strong sense of self-worth. They know their good qualities and achievements. When someone tries to make them feel small, they remember all the positive things about themselves. This helps them stay confident. Sometimes toxic people try to blame smart people for their own bad behavior. They might say things like, "You made me angry," or "This is your fault." Smart people know that everyone is responsible for their own actions and feelings. Smart people practice positive self-talk when dealing with toxic people. They might think, "This person is having a bad day, but I am still a good person." This helps them stay strong and not absorb negative energy. The key is remembering that other people's behavior reflects their character, not yours. Smart people focus on being the best version of themselves. Smart people treat their energy and time like precious gifts. They do not waste these valuable resources on toxic people who drain and exhaust them. Instead, they save their energy for positive people and activities that make them happy. Toxic people often demand too much attention and time. They might call constantly, create unnecessary drama, or expect others to solve their problems. Smart people recognize when someone is taking too much from them, and they say no. Smart people schedule their time carefully. They plan when they will talk to difficult people and for how long. They might decide to check messages only once a day or limit phone calls to 10 minutes. This prevents toxic people from taking over their whole day. Energy protection is also important. Smart people notice when they feel tired, stressed, or upset after being around certain people. They take breaks to recover and recharge. They might take a walk, listen to music, or spend time with positive friends. Smart people create energy barriers around themselves. They imagine a shield that blocks negative feelings from reaching them. They also practice deep breathing and positive thinking to stay strong during difficult interactions. Rest and self-care become even more important when dealing with toxic people. Smart people make sure they get enough sleep, eat healthy food, and do activities they enjoy. This helps them maintain their strength and positive attitude. Smart people also surround themselves with supportive, loving people who give them energy instead of taking it away. Smart people keep records when dealing with toxic people, especially at work or in legal situations. They write down what happened when it happened and who was there. This protects them if problems get worse later. Documentation means keeping proof of bad behavior. Smart people save text messages, emails, and voicemails from toxic people. They take screenshots of social media posts or comments. This evidence shows the truth if anyone questions what really happened. Smart people write detailed notes about conversations and incidents. They include dates, times, and exact words that were said. They write these notes soon after things happen while their memory is still fresh and clear. When meeting with toxic people, smart people sometimes bring witnesses or ask someone else to join the conversation. Having another person there prevents the toxic person from lying about what was discussed. It also helps smart people feel safer and more confident. Smart people keep all documentation in a safe place. They might use a special folder on their computer or a notebook that they lock away. They make backup copies in case something gets lost or damaged. This record keeping is not about being mean or planning revenge. It is about protection. If a toxic person lies, spreads rumors, or tries to cause trouble, smart people have proof of what really happened. Smart people also know when to share this documentation with others, like supervisors, lawyers, or authorities. They use their evidence wisely to protect themselves and solve serious problems. Smart people never try to handle toxic people completely alone. They build a strong support network of friends, family, and professionals who can help them. Having support makes dealing with difficult situations much easier and less stressful. Smart people talk to trusted friends and family members about their experiences. These supporters can offer advice, give different perspectives, and provide emotional comfort. Sometimes just talking to someone who cares makes a big difference. Professional help is also valuable. Smart people might talk to counselors, therapists, or coaches who understand toxic behavior. These experts can teach new strategies and help process difficult emotions that come from dealing with toxic people. Smart people join support groups where they meet others with similar experiences. Hearing stories from people who have survived toxic relationships helps them feel less alone. They learn new coping strategies and gain confidence from success stories. At work, smart people talk to supervisors or human resources when toxic behavior affects their job. They do not suffer in silence or try to handle workplace bullying by themselves. They use company resources to protect themselves. Smart people also educate their supporters about toxic behavior. They share articles, books, or videos that explain manipulation and emotional abuse. This helps their support network understand the situation better and give more effective help. The most important thing is not to isolate themselves. Smart people stay connected to positive people who remind them of their worth and help them stay strong. Smart people recognize when a relationship with a toxic person cannot be fixed or improved. They understand that sometimes the healthiest choice is to completely end the relationship and walk away for good. Walking away is not giving up or being weak. It is a brave decision that shows self-respect and wisdom. Smart people know that their mental health and happiness are more important than trying to help someone who does not want to change. There are clear signs that tell smart people when it is time to leave. These include physical threats, constant emotional abuse, or repeated boundary violations. When someone shows no respect for basic human decency, smart people protect themselves by leaving. Smart people make safety plans before ending toxic relationships. They might change phone numbers, block social media accounts, or ask friends to help them avoid the toxic person. They think ahead to prevent future contact or harassment. Sometimes walking away means leaving a job, moving to a new place, or ending contact with family members. These decisions are difficult but necessary. Smart people prioritize their well-being over social expectations or guilt. Smart people do not feel guilty about cutting toxic people out of their lives. They know that everyone deserves to be treated with respect and kindness. They refuse to accept less than they deserve. The decision to walk away gives smart people freedom to focus on positive relationships and personal growth. It opens space for better people to enter their lives. After dealing with toxic people, smart people focus on healing and building a better future. They work on strengthening themselves mentally and emotionally. They learn from their experiences and become wiser and stronger. Smart people practice forgiveness, but not for the toxic person's benefit. They forgive to free themselves from anger and resentment. They understand that holding on to negative feelings only hurts themselves. Forgiveness is a gift they give to their own peace of mind. Building healthy relationships becomes a priority. Smart people learn to recognize the signs of good people who will treat them well. They look for kindness, honesty, and respect in new friendships and romantic relationships. Smart people also work on improving their self-esteem and confidence. They might read books about personal growth, take classes, or work with counselors. They focus on their strengths and achievements rather than dwelling on past hurt. Creating new positive experiences helps smart people move forward. They try new hobbies, travel to new places, or set exciting goals for themselves. These positive activities help replace bad memories with good ones. Smart people become mentors and helpers for others who are dealing with toxic people. They share their knowledge and experiences to help others learn and heal. This gives meaning to their difficult experiences and helps others avoid similar problems. Most importantly, smart people trust themselves more after surviving toxic relationships. They know they can handle difficult situations and make good decisions. This confidence helps them create the happy, peaceful life they deserve.